Hello, Dolphins fans and possibly Colts fans. This is going to be my score prediction for the Dolphins at Colts game, 1 p.m. Sunday coming up very soon. It's almost finally here. Actually, the Cowboys are going to be playing in about like an hour, which is going to be fucking wild. But it's time. It's finally time. Miami Dolphins at Indianapolis Colts is going to be a good start for both teams, to be very fair. The Dolphins are coming in looking at like the most disturbing, disgusting team in the NFL, apparently. Everybody is talking mad crap about my Miami Dolphins, unfortunately, on offense and defense. It's mostly the secondary, the quarterback, tight end, and, offensive line. Like usual, everyone's talking major crap about the Dolphins. Yeah. Well, on the Colts, on the other hand, the main conversation right now is, Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson. Interesting. But I'm going to get back to the Dolphins real quick because I am a Dolphins fan, so obviously I'm mostly going to be focusing on the Dolphins. I think everybody is completely going overboard with how bad the Dolphins really are, for one, first and foremost. Offensively, everybody knows when Tua's actually in the game, the Dolphins are pretty damn good. So you shouldn't have to worry too much. And usually, when it comes to the Dolphins with Tua Tagovailoa under center, guess what? He's also 4-0 as a starter in the first game of the year. I'm just saying on that part. That's a bit of a stat right there. As well as the fact that, right now, from some of the lines I've been seeing, some places are saying that the Colts are favored by 1.5. I don't know why they're favored a little bit. The Dolphins seem to be coming in, even in this game, as underdogs, while some other places are saying the power rankings have like Tua Tagovailoa at 28, the 28th worst, 28th best quarterback in the NFL. And then some have Daniel Jones ahead of him, which is kind of wild. I don't know. As well as when you go by team rankings, a lot of them also have the Colts in front of the Dolphins in rankings. Again, wild. Why? Because everybody is super underrating the Dolphins. And by underrating, I'm saying like I think everyone has them underrated because of how much shit they have been talked about. I don't think the Dolphins are going to come in Sunday into Indianapolis where the Colts are, feeling the passing of Ursay and wanting to fight for him. I don't think they're going to be coming in here. Miami is going to come into Indianapolis, look at what's going on, and look at all the national news media and all the talk about players who left the team and all the players that are now on the Colts that are also former Dolphins, and then go in there and think, you know what, let's just lay flop on the floor and just, lose to a team we should easily beat. I think Miami's going to go in there, a massive chip on their shoulder compared to what Indianapolis has. Indianapolis has somber tones and somber prayers for their passing of their leader, the passing of their owner. The Dolphins are coming in looking like the laughingstock of the league for the reason of, I will be very honest with that. I'm kind of annoyed. I am a little bit annoyed by all the talk in the news media and all the fans talking major shit about the Dolphins. The Dolphins are I'm hoping, I'm thinking the Dolphins are coming in with a massive chip on their shoulder. Everyone's talking bad. Everyone's saying they're going to be crap. Everyone's saying everyone's going to get hurt. I don't know why people are plotting and wishing for harm to come to the players, but that's also been a thing, which is ridiculous, might I add. But I think the Dolphins are going to come in with that big chip on their shoulder, wanting to win this first game. I don't think Indianapolis is ready for it. Their offensive line is not that good. Their defensive line is also not that good. Their corners, while revamped, also their secondary is kind of as well. And their wide receivers and tight ends and running back group, other than Jonathan Taylor, is a bunch of we don't knows just yet. And I'm not talking shit about them on purpose. I'm just trying to emphasize that no one's talking anything about the Colts. The Colts have had bad offenses, have had bad defenses, and last year in total they were also really bad. They were the third worst points per game for the last 3 years on defense. They were also one of the least scoring teams on offense the last 3 years, and I don't think Daniel Jones is going to come in there and fix that. And sure, you can say the Dolphins have a weak secondary, but I would definitely say that Rasul Douglas, Storm Duck, Jack Jones are a better trio right now, in my opinion, than, Xavier Howard and who do they have? I'm just saying, I love X, but X is a bit more on the wash side. If I were to put X versus Ramsey right now, Ramsey's a little bit weaker than he's ever been. I would definitely say X is like at least two pegs deeper down that tier. He's still a ball hawk, but there's a reason he wasn't really playing last year, and partially an injury, and partially because who's gonna call a guy who's mostly known for being a ball hawk that can't ball hawk anymore? Who'd also get burnt toasted all the time, like the last year with the Dolphins where he got ate up. I'm just saying, I don't think the Dolphins are gonna have too much of a problem with the Colts. Is what I'm saying. I think their secondary is actually a little bit better in the younger sense than they were last year. I think their defensive line is better. I think their linebacker core is better. Their safety group is much better, I would say. And their offensive line and their wide receiver room, I would say, is better simply because now we have a couple big bodied receivers on the field, or that are going to be on the field as well. I think the Dolphins will win this game. I'm thinking, if anything, right now, about a 27-14 game for the Dolphins win is about where I'm looking. I think, like I said, I think the Dolphins have a better offense and a better defense. I think the only way the Colts could possibly win is if Taylor actually goes off and has like 100 plus yard rushing game, and Daniel Jones somehow also just balls out, has maybe 250 yards passing in 2 touchdowns, and maybe running the ball. I can see that where both them are running the ball and they can do it. But right now, I do think that Tua Tagovailoa and the Dolphins will win this game. At least based on what I've been able to get some research on and some of the things I've been seeing and all the news media stuff and slight bit of X factors between, chip on shoulder and, Ursay passing away. So that's going to be that. Now, when it comes to where you can watch me stream the game at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, it's going to be here on my Aqua Veil channel, not on my sports channel. I wonder why. I've been still having issues with streaming on my sports channel, so I will be here on Aqua Veil, like usual, like the last 3 years. I'll be right here streaming the game, and hopefully 2026 will be the year where we move finally fully to Aqua Veil Sports. So with that, thank you for watching. If you like, leave a like. If you dislike, leave a dislike. If you want to see more, subscribe. All that nonsense. If you have any opinions on how the game is going to go, let me know in the comments. If you disagree or agree, just let me know. I want to know what everybody's opinions is on this thing. I want to know if I'm right or if I'm wrong, if I'm an idiot, if I'm a genius. I want to know. So with that, thank you, and I'll see you for the game.